Hi lovelies, this is Kelly from Crafty Kellys at www.craftykelly.co.uk. Today I'm bringing you some beautiful products from Relative History. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I say a couple of weeks, it was probably a couple of months ago, we done some really fun gift bags using the 12 by 12 papers from the vintage postcard collection. We also used some of the postcard style elements and tags and stuff, so we made these really fun kind of gift bags. Today I wanted to bring a couple of cards, so we're going to do 2 cards using the 6x6 almost like a card making kit. In it has 6 postcard toppers, some backgrounds, it has some white cards, but I'm also going to use, there's some topper pages you can buy as well, or extra embellishments, the little cutout pages, and I've already snipped into mine to get some of these really kind of lovely Christmassy elements, and here's some that I haven't cut out just yet, so you can get a little bit of a taste of what you can actually put onto your projects. I'm going to be using the watercolour backgrounds that come in this kit, which are just absolutely lovely. I'll show you a couple. So we've got all these, and as you know, I love a bit of ink, but this saves me part of the job in doing it. I love that. That almost looks like a moon, doesn't it? That's really cool. And then the postcard part of it, so we've got these really kind of iconic vintage images of Santa, which are just lovely. So you will get a selection of those. If you want to see the full packs, do go on to Relative History website and you can get a full kind of rundown of all the products. But there's some of the things that we're going to be using today. I will bring in some ink. I will bring in probably a couple of stamps just to create some more depth into my background, and a bit of blending because I always like to put a bit of ink on it. But just before we start, today is a Small Business Saturday in the UK. So last week it was in the US and today it's in the UK. So please do what you can to support your small local businesses, because without your support we can't carry on going. So anything that you can do, we'd all really appreciate. And I spoke about last week, there's a campaign, Just a Card. Now, funny enough, my sister is kind of launching this, or been launching this campaign as well. She's a ceramicist. She makes pottery art pieces. She runs classes, but obviously all of that's had to stop. And it's that same kind of notion that we're going for, that if you buy just one card from a local maker, that could keep them going. So anything you can do to support would be amazing. And we know things are tough right now, but if you can't get something from the high street, always look at your small businesses, because we can offer you something a little bit different. Anyway, to our card making, I'm going to flip you around so you can see what we're doing. Okay, so I've got a few of my bits kind of laid out on my workspace. I'm just going to pull out the stuff that we're going to use for the cards we're going to make first, or the 2 cards. So I think I'm going to go for these 2 backgrounds. One, I really like this kind of almost like a moon style image, and let's just, so I've cut out a few bits, and I'm just going to have a muck around for a second to see where I think, or what I feel works together. See, I'm thinking the large topper, maybe the girl, maybe a log. I really like the log. And we've got these tags as well that we can pull in. This really nice kind of Christmassy banner. I mean, I can stamp a sentiment onto that if need be, but both of these have got sentiments on. Maybe layer them up. So what you could do is you could do a bit of decoupage. So if you brought 2 sheets of these really lovely characters, you could decoupage them up, so give them a bit more depth if you if you wish to do that, which would work. I think I'm going to actually pull in another piece of cardstock that I'm going to use for some extra detail. So I've got 2 card bases here. I believe they're just under 6 inch. Yeah, literally just under 6 inch. So we're going to have to just trim our cardstock down, and let's mount it onto some card as well, because I always like lots of mats and layers. I think it really kind of can make a project pop. So I'm just going to pop these bits to one side. Let's bring in a trimmer and some cardstock for mounting. So I've got this is just a very small amount of cardstock I have, but you work with what you've got, and I'm gonna just go down to, so this is a box of Linda Chapman's cardstock, and the particular pack is called Woodstock, and it's just really nice because it's got all these lovely earthy tones. So we'll use some card from here to actually do our backing. Now let's decide. I could just go for plain black, but I don't want to just go for plain black. And everything I'm using, I'll let you know, just in case you want to recreate what I'm doing, or if it gives you inspiration or ideas. I craft with items from all different companies, just because that's what works for me. I find I like certain things from different companies, and you know, I'm always open to new things, but if you find something that works. So what shall we mount you onto? That pink, actually, it's not very Christmassy, but I'm wondering, maybe not. Don't think, because there's blue tones in there and not so much, although there is a red tone in there. Maybe the red or the orange, or even that brown would be nice. So go through your stash, find out what works, because when you put a piece of coloured card behind something, sometimes it actually almost changes the tones that are actually in that cardstock, your coloured card, because your eye is then drawn to the other colours, and it can make other colours pop. We talk about that phrase quite often in card making, about making something pop. So let's see with black. See, I am a lover of black. I quite often will go for black. Yeah. But, you know, work with what you've got. Work with what you like. It was an interesting thing. So I'm a bit of a follower of Tim Holtz and his products and stuff, and he was doing a Facebook Live some time ago, and somebody asked him the questions about, like, they really love his inks but they don't know which ones to buy, and his advice to them was, buy the colours you like because they're the colours you're going to work with. And I think that's very much true for cardstock, for papers, for inks. I think that's, we don't need every colour, but you want the colours that you're going to work with, because you don't want a colour that you're not going to work with, because, well, it will just sit there on your shelf, won't it? And yes, you know, we do like to collect, us crafters, but let's see if that's about right. Yeah, so I've got just a skinny white border, and now I'm going to trim down my coloured card. So I do want that on the edge. So what was that? That was 3/4, wasn't it? Yeah. So we'll take it down to 2.5. I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to take it off the bottom because I don't want to lose that detail at the top, because I really love that. And these little bits, like, we'll hold on to because they might come in use as the project evolves. So with this one, I've got a slightly larger border, and that's only because I've took off what, 1/4 inch. With this one, I want that side. I'm gonna only take it down like, is that 2/8? I'm really rubbish with those kind of middle the middle numbers, but I do prefer to work in inches, which is just bizarre as well. I know some people prefer centimetres, some people prefer inches. So now with this one, I've got a skinny border. Can you see that? A small skinny border. We will probably bring the trimmer back in just a sec, but let's start bringing these bits in. Okay. So what I think I want to add in this one is, I think I want to add some either scripture or a stamp with like a musical sheet, and I've got one somewhere. Let's see where that is. There it is. So this is a musical sheet stamp from Stampin' Up. There are lots of them about, so you know, it's quite a common kind of stamp to get a music sheet. So go with what you've got. If I was to stamp that down, it would be that way. So I'm just going to pop that down here, and because I don't really need to hold a large acrylic block, I can bring in a stamping tool. There are plenty of them out there. I have several. Just find one that works for you, because they are actually really useful. So with a stamping platform, you literally position your stamp, but with this, it's going to be a bit, because I only want to get bits of it. I don't want to get the whole kind of image inked. So I'm just going to pop a little magnet in the corners. Actually, I'll leave that one off, I think. And with my, I want it on this side, don't I? I'm going to do it at a bit of a wonk. And this can come in here. But I want it, so it's going to be a bit patchy. I think we'll go for like a light brown to start with, to see, or light grey. Ooh, antique linen maybe, or soft suede. Where's my soft suede? That one's always a good one. Sahara sand. Oh, no, that's seafoam. I need to have a sort and put my inks back into order, because I can't see the one that I want. Okay, well, I'm going to go for Stampin' Up ink. I'm going to go for Smoky Slate. The only problem, like, I love these inks, but they can be a little bit big sometimes. Right, I'm not inking the whole stamp, I'm just inking a portion of it. And I'm just going to take that little smudge of ink there, wipe it on the jeans, it's all good. I'm just going to finger tap down just to get, I might have to press a little bit harder, being a little tentative. I might have to put a little bit more ink on. So I've got, can you see this impression that I'm getting? Now, like with this particular stamp, like I said, you can get like song sheet stamps, like they're quite a common kind of stamp to get. So if you do have something like this, fantastic. If you don't, everything I do is optional. It is your choice. And like I said, if you don't have those bits, really don't worry. Really don't worry. So I'm happy with that. Let's bring that back in. So I've got that kind of little bit of musical notes. I might trim him down and back him on black to make him just pop a little bit more. Oop. Oh, my camera's gone a little bit. There we go. So I'm just going to take off that white edge. You can ink, you know, you could always ink the edge. Whatever works for you. I'm just taking that down a bit. Oh, I'm going to need it again. So I'm going to need some more black cardstock. Will you fit on there? Yeah, you will. So I'm just going to stick that down. I've got some finger lift tape. I could use glue, whatever your preference is. It's just that was what was to hand. That's how I work quite often, is whatever's the closest thing, then I grab for that. So I love the Tim Holtz mat. The only problem with it is because I work in a lot of black cardstock, I can't always see it when I'm working on the mat. Don't know if anybody else has found that. It's a fantastic mat, but I'm using a Caterpillar crop to cut. I think I've mentioned before I use this one because it's got a self-sharpening blade, and they say I will never have to replace it, so fingers crossed I don't. It was an investment piece, as they say. So look at that, that's looking good. Now, do I want to add anything more into that? Do I want to add in one of the boys or one of the girls? I like doing things on a bit of a wonk, but does it look better straight? No, got to do it on a wonk. Okay, so I'm going to start putting this one together because, as you can see, this is like really easy card making because the papers are doing all the work. Because the toppers are already sorted for me, I don't actually have to do that much in the way of changing or adding too much, which is for us card makers really great, because I can still add my own personal kind of quirk to it, but if I've only got a limited time, or you know, I need to make a lot of something, then it's just really easy to work with. So that is that. And that done. So let's attach this. So if you are somebody that likes ribbon and twine and stuff like that, obviously you can add in your ribbon and your twine. Totally you can. But it depends what you personally like on your cards. I do like ribbon and twine. I just don't use it as often as some others. But that is totally and absolutely fine. Because we all have our own style when it comes to it. Oh, where's my foam pads gone? So with Santa, I'm just going to pop him up on some foam pads. There we go. And I love that we've just got that kind of little impression there that it's not, if I'd used black, it would be like kind of really harsh and definite. But this isn't. Oh, I'm drinking hot lemon, a bit of honey and orange. I've got a little bit of a sore throat. It's because I've spent the last 3 days talking. Yeah, I'm liking that. Do I want to add someone in? Do I want him in? She's really pretty. I really like her. Or her. I feel I want something else. I don't know what that something else is just yet, but it will come to me. So I'm going to pop that to one side for a sec and let's start piecing this one together. So do I want to add anything onto this? Before we start sticking it down, let's double check. It's the beauty of working with products that, so he's going to be lifted up. I'm going to stick a sticky pads there and there. Oop. He's going to be lifted up like so. I think she is too. Oops. Oh, can't get the backing off of it. There we go. Do I add her in the back? I kind of really like her. I might keep her flat. I was thinking about using like a strip. Go that way or that way. Let's cut a strip in this colour because I want like a slightly contrasting colour. Then let's back up. Have a little, yeah. So I'm just using a sliver of another colour. I'm going to back that onto some black. So it's got a skinny border, so we'll chop it down. So I want that. Oop. Nice skinny border. What was it? It was 5.5, wasn't it? So trim that down. Looks like more of that really lovely coloured paper. She can go just behind there, and when we need a Christmas sentiment. Let's have a look what I've got next to me. So I'm just going to pull out a couple of my stamp sets that have got Christmas sentiments that are just kind of like at arm's reach. So I've got Christmas wishes, got some smaller, wishing you peace and love all year. Oh, that's kind of nice, isn't it? Merry, Merry Christmas. I think I shall go for this one. So ooh, Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I've got the punch that goes with that. Is it a punch or a die? I can't remember. I think it's a die. Not sure where it is. Right, so now I could go straight onto the cardstock, or actually let's do it onto this lovely little strip. I like that. I like it a lot. So let's bring back in this stamping platform. So this particular one actually was gifted to me by one of my lovely ladies that comes to classes, and she brought 2 by accident, bless her. And so well, I think she actually probably brought more, she said. So what we're going to do is, with this particular one you can use photopolymer, so our clear stamps, and you can use your red rubber stamps. Now I need an ink. I want a black ink, I think. Yeah, you'll do. Lovely. So I'm just using a black Memento. It is a water-based ink. You can obviously use any ink that works for you. I'm going to have to do it a couple of times. This paper, the 6x6 cardstock with the watercolour effect, is a textured paper. So, you know, if you're stamping like this, you will have to possibly do it a couple of times just to make sure that you can get a really kind of clear stamp, because of the texture. That's why I use a stamping platform for this, because there's no way if I was using an acrylic block I'd be able to go back in. It is the beauty of a stamping tool. There are so many out there, that you'll find one either in your price bracket or you know, that works well. So I'm happy with that. You're going in here like this, and she's coming back in. The Yule log's coming back in, and so is our little girl. I love her. She is so cute. Yeah. So I do feel like here, I don't know why, but here needs something. Am I just overthinking it? Maybe if I pop you up a little bit, might even it out. Yeah, that'll do. Right, let's start sticking this together. So like for these cards, I've not used much in the way of other resources. A sentiment stamp, a stamp with some detail on. Actually, I do know what I'm going to add on. It's funny, isn't it? You say, oh, we're done, and then I change my mind. So I've got, I think, Tim Holtz stamp that has flourishes. I'm sure I do. I'm going to find I don't have it now. Not flourishes, but flowers. Oh, we've got flourishes there. I think I'm going to use one of these flower stamps actually. So I've changed my mind because that's what I do. Unless there's a flourishy one next to me from my Stampin' Up lot. Flourishy. Grungy, no. Oh, maybe. Actually, changed my mind again, because that's what I do. So this is a Stampin' Up set from Stampin' Up. It is called Petal Palette, and Because it's probably retired now, to be fair. I think I've had it a while, but I really like it because it's got this kind of watercolour effect stamps, which I absolutely love. For this one though, I will grab myself a block. And right, let's try this on a piece of scrap first. There we go. Make sure that I either get the colours that I want or the kind of effect that I want. So I'm going to see what it looks like in this grey, but I think I might actually grab a blue. Oh no, the grey looks nice. Okay, I might just go with grey. So with this, it's a really large stamp. You can obviously use a stamping tool, as we said, but because I'm going to do a couple of stamps, for me this is quicker. So I'm going to stamp in this corner here. I'm going to apply some even pressure and lift. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That will take a second to dry, being a water-based ink. But I'm gonna. When it comes to inking stamps, the rule is normally you take the ink to your stamp pad just because you've got more control. But I don't always follow the rules. So I'm gonna stamp in here. I'm gonna go in again. I'm gonna do another one here. Yeah, like that. I like that. Also kind of draws you in, and because it's that cool kind of watercolor effect, it works well with this cardstock and the kind of the style of the paper, and the background. So yeah, glad I like that. Just gonna add a little bit more there. It almost feels like the trees are just coming in. I could have gone for a green, I actually think, but I think the grey works well. I'm happy with that. So let's pop you over to one side. I'm now I can't help it. I now look and I go, oh, what else could I add? What else could I do? That's just what I'm like there. I still have only just started my Christmas shopping. Excuse me. I will get it done, and I will use some local businesses. Actually, to be fair, I did for my partner's, Bob's main Christmas present. I used a local business for his, and he is hopefully going to be thrilled with it. And we got my son's, he's getting a new bike, don't tell him. And it's Spider-Man, because he's mad on Spider-Man at the moment. But still dinosaurs, obviously. We're dino crazy in this household. I'm only putting 2 kind of strips of tape on, but obviously you add on as much as you want. Right. Make sure I haven't done it the wrong way. There we go. 2. Loving that. Need a strip for you. Okay. Let's say about there. Line her up. Perfect. Okay. We are coming together. This is looking good. It's really nice to kind of be able to mix and match the papers together, to kind of add those kind of depth and colour. I will grab some glue to glue our lovely lady on. I am surrounded by mess, so I'm not back in my studio until Monday from when I finish this, and I have got some tidying to do, I can tell you. It has been a crazy 2 weeks and now I need to put everything away, getting lost in my own mess. Okay, so I've just used the bookbinding glue by Pinflair, which is my go-to glue. We spoke about this last week, you know, whatever you prefer to use, you go ahead and use. There we go. So, like with the inking that I've added, you don't have to do that. So you could just create this whole piece without that, without like the extra kind of inking on the side or anything kind of extra. You don't have to add that. Sorry, I'm fiddling now. Fiddly fiddler. I'm happy with that one, but I feel this one needs something else. But I am not sure what I have in mind just yet, as usual. So I have this stamp of these cute little deer. And I'm going to see if I can actually fit one in. Okay, because I've stuck it down, there are always ways around this. This is normal for me, to be fair. So what I'm going to just come and do is I'm just going to literally put a sticky note just there, so anything that goes over isn't going to go onto my little card base. So if you like put a project together and go, oh yeah, I should have done that, or I should have added this, I need a slightly bigger block, don't I? Then don't think that all is lost. There is the possibility for you to do a little bit of editing, as I call it, creative editing. So, look, I keep sharing all my hints and tips with you guys. You're not going to need me before long. Right, I'm going to do it also in that same grey, I think. I think it just works. It's because it's not too harsh. Let's do a little test. Yeah, happy with him. So, oh, she says, as she moves the sticky note. Right, there we go. So I'm going to try and get him on as much as I can. So he's really faint, which I kind of like that. I think that's good. So he's just there in the background. Little kind of hint of Christmas. And I do feel like I want something else. Don't know if I'm going to add a sentiment or one of these lovely kind of phrases instead. Yeah, let's go for a phrase. So this stamp I've not actually used, but that's fine. That's why we're going to use it now. What to stamp onto, though, is the question. I think, let's bring those little bits back in. So I will mount it on black. I'll snip it down. Where's the one that I cut? Aha. Now, are any of you colours going to work? That is, but we're not going to see it on that. So let's find another one with like maybe a similar tone. Or that purple is a little bit lighter, so we're going to go for that. I think this one we will stamp in black. Oh, I should do this on the stamping tool. Only because it's the textured paper. I only have so much of that paper, so I don't want it to go wrong first time. So we want this portion here. I've just popped ink on it, so I need to be careful when placing it down. Oh, I did just move it. Okay, see if we can rectify that. Okay, one more. To be fair, I quite like actually using the Rare Earth. Oh, before that was in my bag. Rare Earth ink. It is actually a pretty good ink. It's called Pitch Black. It's a dye ink, but it's a permanent ink. And it is a really black ink. I just find sometimes with Memento that it doesn't stamp as black. It's a little bit watery, if that makes sense. Yeah. Oh, my drink's gone cold. I'm gonna have to go stick it in the microwave. Yes, I do stick drinks in the microwave before anybody else is horrified. So I have done it on a wonk because, well, that's just me now. So we're straightening it up. I'll straighten it up somehow. There we go. Oh, we need that because we need to put it onto some black. Today my son is at Nanny's. He is putting up the Christmas tree at Nanny's. He's very excited because he put up one of my mum's. So he's at Bob's mum's today and he was at my mum's for a little bit yesterday. Putting up the Christmas tree. So he's having a whole weekend of tree putting up. Ooh. Should have let it dry, shouldn't I? That's my impatience for you. Okay. Yep. Yeah, see, that's it. Just needed something else for the eye, and I'm just going to pop it behind. So yeah. Yeah, when you do these things at home, guys, please take your time. I'm always mindful. I don't want to take up too much of your time sticking stuff together. I want you to, but I do want you to take your time, and I'd love to see what you guys are making with this beautiful paper kit. And other things you're working on, because I always love to hear what you guys are up to. So I'm just going to push a few bits out to the side, out the way. So here are 2 cards. Let's quickly recap what we've done. So we've used the 6x6 watercolour background papers. I've added in a musical note stamp in a light grey and a small stag. I've used one of the postcards, matted it and layered on black, printed, stamped out just like a kind of wordy sentiment, just something else to add to the piece. And then on this one over here, same again with that background paper, adding in a sliver of kind of another colour just to make it pop. Then I've fussy cut these lovely little girls out and the log beforehand, raised these 2 up, matted and layered on black. Put a sentiment in the centre. Add some kind of foliage around the side in that same kind of grey colour, which was smoky slate, just to create our cards today. So I'm going to flip you around. So that's us done for today. 2 lovely cards using the vintage postcard collection from our lovely relative history and our lovely Sally. So thank you guys for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. I know we're getting closer and closer to Christmas, so it's been great working with you this year, because it is almost been a year that I've been working with Sally in relative history, so it's been a really good year for me and I've enjoyed every minute of it, so thank you guys. And I hope you have a fantastic Christmas if I don't speak to all of you beforehand. I know the days are just creeping up and this year has been crazy for all of us, so let's support each other. Do what you can to support your friends and your family. Be there at the end of the phone. Be that person that people can go to, and have a great time as best we can. When it comes to your Christmas presents, don't forget, please support your small businesses to get those really individual gifts, because without your support we can't keep going. So thank you guys, I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for joining me. It's been great fun today. Take care now. Bye.